Did you know that the vast majority of people, over 90%, will work their entire lives and never achieve true financial freedom, and most of them won't even realize it until it's too late? Think about it. Millions of people wake up every day, rush to work, grind through endless hours, and go home exhausted, all while worrying about bills, debts, and whether they'll ever have enough to retire comfortably. The shocking truth is that it's not because they aren't working hard or because they aren't smart. It's because most people are trapped in a mindset and lifestyle that silently keeps them poor. Most of us are taught to study hard, get a good job, and earn a stable paycheck, but nobody teaches us how money actually works. Nobody explains why buying that new car, that fancy phone, or living paycheck to paycheck can silently chain us to financial struggle for decades. And that's exactly why this problem is invisible. People think they're doing everything right, but in reality, they're building their lives on a system that favors debt, consumerism, and short-term thinking. In this video, I'm going to break down why most people will never be financially free, reveal the hidden habits and beliefs that keep them trapped, and show you the exact mindset shift that separates the wealthy from the rest. By the end of this video, you'll understand not just the mistakes to avoid, but the actionable steps you can take today to start creating real financial freedom for yourself, so you never have to depend on a paycheck again, and so your money starts working for you instead of the other way around. After exploring the traps that most people fall into, let's take a moment to reflect on the first chapter about mindset. The reality is, working hard alone will never make you financially free if your mindset is still aligned with dependence and instant gratification. People often confuse a high income with true wealth, believing that earning more will automatically solve their problems. But here's the truth. If you're constantly trading your time for money, you are still a prisoner to the system. The closing lesson of this chapter is simple. Your mindset is the foundation of your financial life. Moving on to financial illiteracy, this chapter reveals why most people never escape financial struggle, even if they think they're doing everything right. You see, knowledge isn't just power, it's freedom. Many people are taught to earn, save, and spend, but not how to grow their money, protect it from inflation, or leverage it to build wealth. The closing lesson here is that money without understanding is like a car without fuel. You might look successful on the outside, but you're not going anywhere. Learn the difference between assets and liabilities. Understand how taxes, investments, and inflation impact your wealth, and stop confusing consumption with creation. If you master just this part, you'll be able to make smarter decisions, avoid common traps like buying liabilities disguised as assets, and start building real financial security. Remember, ignorance is expensive, but knowledge compounds like interest. Carry this lesson forward, because in the next chapter, we'll see how consumer culture and debt silently sabotage even the best intentions. Now that we've seen the importance of financial literacy, it's time to confront one of the biggest silent killers of financial freedom: consumer culture and debt. The closing takeaway of this chapter is stark but necessary. Living in a constant loop of borrowing, spending, and earning will never set you free. Debt, lifestyle inflation, and the pressure to keep up are subtle but relentless chains that trap millions. Even if you earn a high income, overspending on luxuries or financing your lifestyle with credit cards means you're still trapped in the rat race. The lesson here is simple but transformative. Control your spending, prioritize value over status, And understand that every dollar spent is a choice that either moves you closer to freedom or keeps you in bondage. Before moving to short-term thinking, internalize this. The wealthy, they buy things they can't afford. They invest in assets that grow. They delay gratification, and they see money as a tool for long-term power. Let this chapter's lesson guide your daily decisions, because the next chapter will show how short-term thinking can completely derail even the smartest financial plans. Chapter 4 brings us to short-term thinking, the enemy of financial growth that keeps many people living paycheck to paycheck. The closing lesson here is about perspective. Instant gratification feels good in the moment but costs exponentially more in the long run. Buying a luxury item today might provide temporary happiness, but investing that same amount could compound into wealth that changes your life. The wealthy consistently delay gratification because they understand the power of time and compounding. The key takeaway is that your choices today directly shape your financial reality tomorrow. If you want to break free, you must prioritize long-term gains over short-term pleasures. Learn to say no to fleeting temptations, yes to education, investments, and asset building, and recognize that wealth is built by patience, discipline, and smart choices. Take this lesson seriously, because the final chapter will show exactly how the wealthy apply these principles every day and how you can start doing the same. Finally, we reach the chapter that ties everything together: what the wealthy do differently. The closing words of this chapter and of the entire video are both a challenge and an invitation. You've seen the mindset traps, the consequences of financial illiteracy, the danger of debt, and the cost of short-term thinking. Now imagine combining all those lessons and applying them consistently. The wealthy don't get rich by accident. They focus on assets over liabilities, invest in themselves, leverage their time, and build multiple streams of income. They understand that financial freedom is not a destination, but a lifestyle created through knowledge, strategy, and action. The final takeaway is that financial freedom is achievable, but only if you recognize the invisible rules that most people ignore. Start small, but start today. Educate yourself. Track your spending. Invest in assets. Delay instant gratification, and most importantly, cultivate the mindset that you deserve freedom. By applying even a fraction of these principles, you'll put yourself on a path that 90% of people never even see. The choice is yours. Remain trapped in the system, or take control of your money, your life, and your future. True financial freedom begins with awareness, and awareness starts with you. So now that we've explored the mindset traps, the dangers of financial illiteracy, the silent chains of debt and consumerism, the cost of short-term thinking, and the strategies the wealthy actually use, it all comes down to one simple truth. Financial freedom isn't about how much you earn. It's about how you think, what you know, and the choices you make every single day. Most people will never be financially free, not because they aren't smart or hardworking, but because they follow rules designed to keep them trapped in the system. They work for money, they spend without thinking, they chase instant gratification, and they never invest in themselves or in assets that grow. But the good news is, it's never too late to change. Every lesson in this video is a tool. Your mindset, your knowledge, your spending habits, your patience, and your actions can all be shifted starting today. Begin by educating yourself, tracking every rupee you spend, prioritizing assets over liabilities, and committing to long-term thinking over fleeting pleasures. Small steps consistently taken compound into life-changing results. Imagine waking up one day where your money works for you, where you're no longer dependent on a paycheck, where choices come from freedom instead of fear. That is not a dream. It's a reality for those who decide to see the system for what it is and break free from it. So take control, make the shift, and start building the life you truly deserve. Financial freedom isn't given, it's earned through awareness, discipline, and action. And the first step? Choosing today to think differently, act differently, and never settle for a life that keeps you trapped. Your freedom starts now.